Everyone thinks affordable housing in America is gone. Like if you didn't buy a home 5 years ago, you missed your chance. Prices went up, rates went up, and suddenly, owning a home started to feel impossible. But here's what most people never hear about. There are still places in the United States where you can buy a full house for less than what some people spend on a car. Not a dream, not a theory. Real homes, real prices, real opportunities. And today, we're heading into Oklahoma, a state most people overlook, but one that might quietly be hiding some of the most affordable housing left in America. In this video, I'm showing you 5 towns in Oklahoma where you can still buy a home under $100,000. And with every town, I'll show you a real listing, real square footage, and exactly what your money gets in 2026. But stay until the end, because the last town on this list might give you the best value of all. Let's get into it. Number 5. Enola, Oklahoma. About 30 minutes from Tulsa, Enola sits in that rare sweet spot, close enough to the city for convenience, but far enough to avoid the cost. It's quiet, it's simple, and for many people, that's the point. Now let's talk numbers. Homes here sit far below the national average, but this listing, it's where things get interesting. $99,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, over 1,500 square feet, and it even includes a detached shop. In most parts of the country, $99,000 doesn't even get you in the door. Here, it gets you space, privacy, and a home you can actually live in. The lifestyle here is slower, less traffic, more space, and a strong sense of community. You're also just 25 minutes from Tulsa International Airport, so you're not cut off, just removed from the chaos. But there are trade-offs. Job opportunities are more limited, and like much of Oklahoma, this area sits in Tornado Alley. Severe storms can happen, especially during spring season, so it's something you have to plan for. But if your goal is simple, lower costs, less stress, and more space, Enola starts to make a lot of sense. And if you think this is affordable, the next town drops the price even further. Number 4. Sallisaw, Oklahoma. About an hour and a half from Tulsa, Sallisaw feels like a real community. Not just houses, but people who actually live there. And here's a real example. $79,900. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, over 1,500 square feet, right across from youth soccer fields, fenced backyard, carport, and even a storm shelter. That last detail matters, because in this part of the country, storms are a real part of life. In bigger cities, $80,000 might get you a small apartment. Here, it gets you a full home with space to grow. The town itself is quiet, but functional. Schools, local businesses, and even an airport just minutes away. But let's be honest, this home is sold as is, so you may need repairs. And while the cost of living is low, job options are still limited compared to larger cities. There's also occasional flood risk in certain areas, so checking the exact location matters. But under $80,000, this isn't just affordable, it's a starting point. Quick pause for a second. If you enjoy finding places like this, where your money actually goes further, make sure to subscribe, because most people are still chasing expensive cities, while others are quietly finding better options. And the next town might change how you think about housing completely. Number 3. Duncan, Oklahoma. This is where things start to feel unreal, because the price here almost doesn't make sense anymore. $49,500. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 732 square feet. Yes, under $50,000. In most of America, that's less than a used truck. Here, it's a house, located about an hour and a half from Oklahoma City. Duncan offers a quiet, slower lifestyle. The home has been in the same family for years, which often means it's been cared for. There are basic amenities nearby, and even a football field just minutes away. But let's be clear, at this price, you're not buying luxury, you're buying simplicity. Job opportunities are limited, and the pace of life is much slower. And like much of Oklahoma, this area can experience tornado activity during storm season. But if your goal is to own something outright and remove housing stress completely, this is where things get interesting. And somehow, it still doesn't stop here. Number 2. Kanawha, Oklahoma. About an hour from Oklahoma City, Kanawha is the kind of place where homes still feel like homes, not financial pressure. And this listing proves it. $99,000. For bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, over 1,300 square feet, a full brick home, corner lot, front porch, back patio, and a 2-car carport. In most cities, this price doesn't even get you a small apartment. Here, it gets you space for an entire family. The town itself is small, but stable, and being close to Oklahoma City adds real convenience. But again, there are trade-offs: limited job growth, fewer entertainment options, and weather that can shift quickly, with hot summers and occasional storms. But if you're thinking long-term, this kind of property has serious potential. And now, the number 1 spot. Number 1. Yale, Oklahoma. About 45 minutes from Tulsa. Yale is one of those places that quietly makes a lot of sense. And this listing shows exactly why. $65,000. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 972 square feet. But here's what makes it different. This home has already been updated. New roof, new insulation, fresh paint, and it sits just 1 block from a school. That's something you don't usually see at this price point. In most places, $65,000 barely gets you anything. Here, it gets you a move-in ready home. The neighborhood is quiet, the cost of living stays low, and life moves at a slower, more manageable pace. But like every town on this list, there are trade-offs: fewer job opportunities, less access to big city amenities, and seasonal storms that can bring strong winds and heavy rain. But if your goal is clear, lower expenses, less pressure, and a place to call your own, Yale might be the strongest option here. So here's the bigger picture. These towns aren't perfect. They don't offer luxury, and they don't move at big city speed. But they offer something that's becoming harder to find every year: affordable housing, real choices, and a chance to live without constantly worrying about rent. Now I'm curious, which one of these towns would you actually consider living in? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more videos like this, where we break down real homes, real prices, and real opportunities, make sure to subscribe, because the next state we explore might surprise you even more.